She was killed just going to the store after work.
She was victimized by someone who had no respect for her, no respect for themselves, no respect for our community, and no respect for life. Again, I'm going to make it clear, we are going to relentlessly, unapologetically pursue people who victimize our community, period. You're not going to outwork us. You're not going to outthink us. We're going to use these partnerships with the FBI, the ATF, U.S. Marshals, our DFAT teams, and we're going to pursue you.
I mean, it's going to be hard, but there's no closure. Not to me. No. This is something that we will have to live with for the rest of our life.
This is the story of Tracie Golden, a devoted wife and mother who worked over a decade dedicating her time to saving the lives of others. One fateful day, Tracie would stop by the store, and as she was heading to her car to return home, she would be approached by a criminal who would brutally take her life and rob her of her personal possessions. How could someone have such a disregard for human life, and how will Tracie's friends and loved ones ever be able to cope with such a tragic loss? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is a major city in the state of Michigan in the United States. It is known for its pivotal role in the automotive industry and is home to the famous Detroit 3 automakers: Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. 53-year-old Tracie Golden, a resident of Detroit, was a wife and mother who spent many years of her working life helping to save the lives of others. She was employed for a decade at Sinai Grace Hospital. But more than a hospital worker, Tracie Golden was a loving mother and wife. She was a mother to a 19-year-old daughter, and she was married to her high school sweetheart, John Golden. The two married after rekindling their romance from more than 30 years ago. Together, they exemplified a love that stood the test of time. Tracie was at the prime of her life at the thriving age of 53. Her infectious smile could light up any room, and her unwavering spirit inspired those around her. Everything was going well for Tracie. She had a wonderful family and a career that she loved. But behind the curtain of happiness, fate had a tragic twist in store for Tracie Golden. Little did she know that an encounter with an individual would lead to an unimaginable and heart-wrenching tragedy. On a seemingly ordinary day, December 28, Tracie's life took a devastating turn in the blink of an eye. It was a usual workday as Tracie returned from work wanting to grab some essentials from a nearby liquor store in the 19,300 block of Grand River Avenue, near West Outer Drive. As she was heading to her car, she was approached by a man dressed in dark clothing who casually walked towards her, then shot her in the chest. He then stole her keys and other belongings before driving away in her gray Dodge Journey SUV, leaving her injured and suffering in the parking lot. Upon arrival, the officers discovered Tracie Golden in critical condition and promptly transported her to Sinai Grace Hospital, where she served as a respiratory therapist. Despite their best efforts, tragically, she succumbed to her injuries. This horrible crime left a once peaceful community in shock and mourning.
A Detroit family mourning tonight after a beloved wife and mother is shot and killed at a store near Rosedale Park.
The killer was caught on surveillance video but remains on the loose tonight. Mara McDonald is live at Detroit Police Headquarters, and Mara, even Chief White is asking for help on this case, describing Tracie Golden as the best of us.
He sure is, Kimberly. And you know, all she did was run into a corner store to pick up some juice, came outside and was shot and killed because some guy wanted her SUV. Let me show you the video. The first thing anybody noticed about Tracie Golden was that smile. Some people just sparkle. That was Tracie, a wife, respiratory therapist, and head union steward at Sinai Grace Hospital. Doctors and nurses couldn't believe it was Tracie rushed to the ER with a gunshot wound to her abdomen.
That's what the doctors and nurses were saying when I arrived at the hospital, that they automatically saw it was Tracie, that they were rushing into surgery.
Surveillance cameras outside the store on Outer Drive in Grand River capture the moment Tracie walks out on Wednesday. Now, look at the man who sees her and walks right at her. You can see him pull out the gun. He shot her, rifled through her pockets, and took off with her Dodge Journey. All of this pain the Golden family is suffering because this man wanted to steal her SUV.
Not for a Dodge Journey. She would have gave up the keys, the wallet, anything.
Tracie drove a 2018 gray Dodge Journey, license plate DYN 1663. Police are still looking for it and the shooter.
We need all the help we can get.
Back here live, you know, the chief has made it clear that not only are they looking for the shooter, but anybody who assists in helping him hide, they're going to be charged too.
Detroit police launched an intensive investigation, leaving no stone unturned to bring the perpetrator to justice. Remarkably, within a mere day, the diligent officers not only secured crucial evidence from the store, but also recovered Tracie's stolen vehicle. The vehicle was found at the scene of an armed robbery that took place at a Family Dollar store on the city's east side. The suspect is believed to have robbed the Family Dollar and left her vehicle there. This crucial breakthrough provided crucial leads in the investigation. Using the additional footage obtained from the Family Dollar robbery, law enforcement painstakingly pieced together a description of their prime suspect, who was later identified as Bradley Thurman. With this vital information, the authorities moved swiftly to apprehend him and ensure that he would face the consequences of his heinous actions. On January 13, the relentless efforts of the police led to the arrest of Bradley Thurman. He was riding in a car with his father when Detroit Police Department sped in and arrested him. He was taken into custody, finally bringing a sense of relief to the community and Tracie Golden's grieving family. At the conclusion of this horrific crime, Bradley Doss Thurman, a mere 19-year-old teenager, was identified as the person responsible.
And that breaking news coming from Detroit, where an arrest in a high-profile case has been made in the instance where a 53-year-old woman was shot and killed during a carjacking outside of a store. A short time ago, Chief James White announced the suspect was in custody and facing murder charges now for the death of Tracie Golden. She was shot and killed in a robbery on her way home from work. This was right after Christmas. Our Sean Lay just got out of that briefing. And Sean, what have you learned?
Well, we've learned a lot. And you mentioned it. Significant arrest here. And Chief White talked about how deeply impacted our community was after this horrible homicide of Tracie Golden, a wife and a mother. She was just around the corner from her house. She was on her way from work, home from work from Sinai Grace. She stopped for some juice and popped. And the video shows that a young man walked up to her, shot her, and took her Dodge Journey. She did not survive. Let's take you in this news conference. Bradley Doss Thurman, 19 years old, out of Detroit. He's been arrested for this. Bradley Doss Thurman, not just arrested, but already has been charged. We are told the motive here was simply robbery. We're also told he may have been riding in a car being surveilled by Detroit police when they got him last Friday. The chief announcing the arrest today. He announced the arrest with the entire homicide team of Detroit police, the men and women working nonstop to crack this case, and they believe they have cracked it. So the chief is going to outline the incredible amount of charges they've gotten out of this case. And then Tracie Golden's dear husband, John, took some time to speak with us as well.
Prosecutor's office has charged him with first-degree murder, felony murder, 5 counts of armed robbery, and 7 counts of felony firearm. He was issued a $4 million cash bond and remanded to the Wayne County Jail.
I know they've been working since December 28th up until this point. Greatly appreciate everybody that had a hand in it. But like the chief said, it ain't over. It's not over. And I will never have closure because my angel is not here. Never.
The revelation of a young individual committing such a heinous act sent shockwaves across the nation. Thurman was brought before the 36th District Court for arraignment, where the gravity of his alleged crimes was laid bare for all to see. Law enforcement worked tirelessly to build a case against Thurman, resulting in his arrest on charges of premeditated first-degree murder, felony murder, armed robbery, and felony firearm possession.
Charged now, Bradley Doss Thurman, charged with 1 count of premeditated first-degree murder, a planned murder, 1 count of felony murder, 1 count of armed robbery, 2 counts of felony firearm. I'm told he is talking, and sources say he has confessed to this already.
He is being held at the Wayne County Jail on a $4 million cash bond. This case is ongoing. In the aftermath of this heart-wrenching tragedy, Tracie Golden's family and loved ones were left to endure profound trauma and agonizing loss. The void left by her absence was indescribable, and the pain of losing a caring mother and devoted wife weighed heavily on their hearts. John Golden, who attended Tuesday's press conference, said he broke down when he heard the news that a suspect had been apprehended. He said he felt relieved and happy, but that he is left without his partner in life. His wife was a rock for a lot of people, he said, and he and their daughter will carry on her legacy of helping others through adversity. She loved everybody, she cared about everybody, she would help everybody. Even the young man that did this senseless crime, Golden said. It's going to be hard, but there's no closure, not to me. This is something that we will have to live with for the rest of our lives. Tracie's husband, John, could not fathom the cruel reality of losing his beloved wife in such a senseless manner. His pain and grief were immeasurable as he grappled with the fact that she was taken away for no fault of her own. The 19-year-old ruthlessly shot Tracie just to rob her of her possessions and her vehicle. In an interview, Tracie's husband John Golden said painfully, "She would have given up the keys, the wallet, anything. My rock. My heart. My everything. Everyone that knows her and me knows how we felt about each other," her husband, John Golden, told reporters. "I don't care about the car. I want my wife back. Which I can't get back. But no matter what we do now, there is no compensation for the loss of an innocent life. A life that was full of potential, love and soul. What happened to Tracie Golden was a tragedy. I'm sure she could have never thought that an innocent trip to the store would result in her life being taken away from her. My condolences to her friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video."